All right. Well, Chris has it wrong. I'm not here to pitch for 15 minutes. Here to just educate and bring about a new tool to introduce to the group of entrepreneurs that are doing some exciting things as a way of telling their story. So my quick 15-second. Steve Rozen. I work in talent acquisition for a company called GitHub, which is a software company owned by Microsoft. Can't forget who my parent company is. So I help hire all of the product people, engineers, salespeople, and then our new generation of AI research analysts. By night, what my real passion is, I've been recruiting for over 20 years, and I really like working with leaders and helping them grow in their career. So I don't like to call myself a coach, but more of a career consultant where I work with leaders in tech and helping them walk through the journey one step at a time up the career ladder to get to their next pivot. So, and name my company's Career Compass Group. So, Steve Rozen.
Cool.
All right.
And what are you going to teach us today, Steve?
We're going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn. I know it's not the most popular subject in this forum, but quick, raise of hands. Who uses it at all? Okay. So, even more important question. I want a dead honest answer. Who does not like the tool at all? Who hates the tool? Awesome.
I don't find a lot of use for it. So.
Okay, well, good. Then that's why I'm here today. So my goal is not to get anybody. So wait, before I do that, so what is the main reason? Just shout out. Why do people not like it?
$65 a month for premium.
It's too complicated.
Okay.
Terrible posts.
Okay.
Just one more social media channel to have to post on.
Okay.
Expensive.
Awesome. This is great.
There's no nudity.
Are you getting paid by LinkedIn? I do use it for education videos, though.
Okay.
Lynda.com. It's got a lot of good tutorials.
Okay. So.
That's LinkedIn Learning.
Yeah, it is. And LinkedIn Learning. So 15. So normally when I do these trainings, I usually do it over 45 minutes to an hour. 15 minutes. It's basically the first couple steps of the mountain. But what I'm going to hit two couple areas. So so the good news, so I understand the sales part. The good news is there's a lot of people that really don't know how to use the tool correctly. They use the sales navigator and then they just spam the F out of, oh wait, I can say fuck here. So, so they do.
We accept you.
All right. So they,
Ladies, it's fine.
yeah, so they pay, like Nancy just said, they pay $65, $80 a month for Sales Navigator and gives them the right, and they're just, hey, I can reach 10 million people and just boom, 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 sell. And that's not what the tool is meant for. The tool is meant for a platform to connect with other professionals. And one thing I didn't, well, I think Victor mentioned it, really not a use for me. So I'm going to translate that into, there's a lot of business to consumer businesses here. So the big misnomer about LinkedIn is, okay, I'm selling to consumers. LinkedIn is business to business. So not true. It's a platform to tell your story. So the two things I'm going to focus on is the groups that you can join and how you can navigate and what damage you can do within them, and real good damage, and then their blogging newsletter tool. So I've heard some really interesting businesses, and here's the thing: if you've got a business that you love, if you've got a business that shows impact, and you know who your niche is that's showing impact for, and you can tell your why on why you love it, it's the perfect ingredients for you to tell your branding narrative using the LinkedIn blogging tool. Now, unfortunately, I can't really show you guys how to get in and do it, but you can go in and you can create your own story. And it doesn't even have to be, it could be education-wise. So I know Collard Green guy's not here, is he, today? Okay. All right, we scared him off. But anyways, he's...
Hired by Sheldon.
Okay.
Not hired by Sheldon.
Yeah.
We're all clear.
Yeah. So he has a catering company and he makes organic greens, collard greens. And so one tool on the blogging tool is he can write his own little mini newsletter series on the difference between organic greens and non-organic greens and the health benefits and what greens actually do, and make it into an education series. So he's not selling, he's educating. The thing about LinkedIn right now is 90% of the people are on there selling it, on there, whatever their business is, and only 10% are out there educating. And that's what the platform is set up for. In this blogging tool, it gives you can create your own picture, you can create your own style. It's all just plug and play.
Is that for premium only?
So I think you could do it on the free version, but even the premium version is like $35 a month, $40 a month. So for less than $500 a month, it's really not that expensive for what you can do with it. But go ahead.
Yeah. Do you recommend that better than YouTube? Like, I know YouTube is with a video, but it's kind of the same.
Yeah, but you can work it with YouTube. You can take your YouTube videos and you can create a series on it. But what this blogging tool is, people like to buy from people that they like, people that they know are human. So going in and using this tool to tell your personal story. So I have a colleague, and her daughter, she's got a 7-year-old daughter who's got type 1 diabetes. And so she's got to have a monitor, and she's got to leave to go to the school to feed her, because she's a little girl. She runs around. She doesn't really process, oh, it's time for me to stop and eat. So there's a big demand on my coworker. So she started doing a little mini blogging on, okay, what's life like to take care of a type 1 diabetes child? And just little tips and just sharing a community, not selling anything, but just trying to create a community that, there's probably other people out there with a type 1 diabetes child, and creating her brand. So it's a way of creating their brand.
Other than being altruistic, what's the benefit to her?
The benefit to who?
To the woman doing the blog?
Well, people get to know her. She's a recruiter. And she gets a lot of people that reach out to her. So when she's posting a job or whatever, people just know her. And they know her. When people reach out to, whether someone like me in talent acquisition to get a job or someone to buy a product from, they want to buy or have someone to work with that they like, that can tell a story, not just someone that's using a sales navigator tool and giving us spammy sales. So that leads me to the other thing. And moderator, you just cut me off when I have to.
You're good.
All right, groups. So the neat thing with groups is you can go inside. Once you're accepted into a group, which really doesn't take a whole lot, sometimes you can get right into the group, or sometimes the moderator will just let you in. But once you're in the group, that means you're connected. So let's say you join a realtor group and there's 1 million people in it. Even though you're not connected to them direct, when you post content in that group, 1 million people in that group see your feed. So one thing that clients that I've coached before is, when joining groups, if you're a realtor, maybe join one realtor group so you're finding out what's going on in the authority, gaining authority of knowledge, what other realtors are doing. But you want to strategically join groups of people that might be your partners, people that could be potentially that you're trying to sell to. So for instance, you might want to join and I was working with, she hasn't been here in a little bit, but Danella. I was helping her with her LinkedIn profile. And so I was helping her choose a group. And I recommended get into a tech director's C-suite group. And she said, Steve, why would I want to do that? I'm selling real estate. I said, yeah, but you're selling big properties. I said, your audience who can afford these properties are folks that are IT directors, C-suites. And when you go in that group, don't join the group and then go in and then sell them, but go in and just kind of giving advice on what's going on in the industry, just sharing like little nuggets of, hey, in the Tampa area, we just had We just had 5 new big complexes in downtown St. Pete that are going up, and they're building the brand new stadium, and sharing advice, and then using a lot of hashtags, and then people start to get to know you, and then also use groups to utilize if people are having a problem. If people are, comment on something that you think is interesting. A lot of people just use the like thing, but there's a difference. What you want to be is almost a curator of content. And when I say a curator of content, that means taking something that you're reading that interests you, that hit you enough to hit the like button, and go one extra step. Talk about why that comment hit them, give credit to the creator of that, and it starts getting you noticed.
And then put it in a group or just on the feed?
No, you don't say, just get in the feed of the group. If in the group, you can answer if a question's going on or if there's a problem going on. I see that. So one of my ex-boss, he finds a lot of great content out there. And so I found, but all he does is he puts a like button to it. So I take his content, I repurpose it, and because he's just sharing a post. So I'll make some sort of comment, or I'll give a suggestion on something based on it, use some hashtags, and then share the link to the post. And you mentioned YouTube video. You could do the same thing. You could upload your YouTube video with it. And then people, and one trick that you could do is say it's a 4-minute video. Say, it's a 4-minute video. What I found what hit to me was in minute 2, where it talks about blah, 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 and then it gets people's interest. You suddenly become a curator, someone that's creating authority of knowledge in their space.
Is there a way, assuming that there's a plethora of them, to kind of see which groups are more engaging or more active?
Yep, LinkedIn yep. I normally, I could show that, but yes, absolutely.
Is there any way to have staying power with your posts, or you have to continuously be posting?
I mean, once it will be shown. So if you use hashtags, anytime someone types in that, so you definitely want to use hashtags to get the most staying power, because let's say someone does a post on, so what's the hashtag you would use, Seth or John?
Hashtag real estate, hashtag multifamily.
What was the
Hashtag multifamily.
Okay, that's even better, because you want to keep as general, but you also want to keep a little specific. So if anybody's doing a search on that, your post will come up. It never goes away. But like with anything, I know a lot of people are familiar with Facebook, and the more you post, the more you get out there, the more you get well known. But if you're getting out there, and the other thing is when you use LinkedIn's blogging tool, as opposed, let's say you upload your own blog from your website or whatever, you get far more reach because you're using LinkedIn's tool. And a lot of times what I'll try to do is I'll sneak in LinkedIn somewhere, whether I do a hashtag LinkedIn or I type in, hey, thank you LinkedIn for giving me this platform, because then it shoots it right to the top. Seth?
So for SEO, there's something as duplicate content. Do you know if there's duplicate content for LinkedIn posts compared to your blog? Can you just copy and paste it, or do you have to spin it?
What do you mean?
If you have a private company's blog,
Okay.
and you post a blog, can I copy and paste it as in push it out to LinkedIn, or do I have to spin it when I post it to LinkedIn so it doesn't register as duplicate content for my main website?
I think you can either share it or I really don't know. But if you hit me offline, I can ask people that I don't. But
Want a link to it? Are you trying to do a link back to it, or you just want to worry about the duplicate content?
I want to get many opportunities for reposting my content as possible without conflicting with my main website's ranking.
so it's that for you and John, and not trying to give you guys extra work, but if you guys.
He doesn't do shit, so
I'm semi-retired. I don't really know this.
But if you guys have a very special niche in the real estate market. I don't know what that is. But the thing is, and that's what you want. You want people to know. You want people to know your story. Seth, I've known you for a few years. There's probably 20 things you could be doing, but you've chosen this path for yourself. So getting in, telling your story about why you chose this path, who you help, why it makes impact. Putting a little mini blog series. It doesn't even have to be continued. It could be a 5-part thing. Yeah, and actually, Marcus, AI now has an integration with the blogging tool on LinkedIn.
Not surprising, but yeah.
Yeah, it's right in. There's like a star at the bottom when you're about to write something, and it gives you, would you like AI to rewrite this for you?
In LinkedIn?
Yeah. Now it could be it could be the 40. It might not be the free version, but yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
This is great. I mean, I thought I knew everything about LinkedIn, so thank you.
So am I making people hate it a little less?
Dude, you're phenomenal.
A little less. Okay.
I have a question for you. With
Yeah.
With the blog, so we're recruiters, so we have thousands of people.
Oh yeah.
So, but when you use the blogging tool, is it pushing it out to your connections, or does it go beyond the connections?
So no, it goes to your connections, but this is where the little trick comes in. You want to use hashtags, but specific to the content that you're pushing out. You just don't want to just throw something general, but let's say you're talking about a specific problem. I'll go back to my colleague's example. She wrote one on type 1 diabetes. So she'll use a hashtag type 1 diabetes, and it goes in, and you'll get more hits. Plus, LinkedIn is monitoring that. So if they're seeing that people are putting out really good content and they're being specific about their hashtags, they push that right to the top. Did I answer your question?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's great. Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else got questions?
How much time? I'm probably up, aren't I?
They say that LinkedIn is the most underutilized social media tool.
It is. So I was doing some research before coming here, and so it's the number 23rd used, and this data is from a year ago, 23rd used platform in all of the world of all the platforms, and they rank in top 10 as far as for specific type of. So there's Facebook, Twitter is ahead of them, but they're starting to catch up to Twitter as far as most used for professional. TikTok and Instagram, they're in the top 10, just a notch below. It's meant to be a professional platform where I know a lot of businesses and solopreneur businesses think they use Facebook, and people use TikTok for videos and YouTube and that, but they're getting widely known as the platform for pushing educational content. I think, Seth, you mentioned LinkedIn Learning.
Yeah,
Have you checked that out yet?
a lot.
Okay.
I
There's,
used to buy my staff memberships,
yeah,
and I would gauge their promotions based off the quizzes they could complete.
yeah. So part of that $35 a month, and well, now I get it because I work for Microsoft, but is you get all these courses. There's actually probably sections. It goes by staggered rate, but I think there's more that you can get.
There's an infinite amount. You can learn how to code, you can learn how to operate. I learned how to do Scrum, Agile, and Operation Management.
Yeah. And when you complete a course, and here's another thing as a way of branding and promoting yourself. When you finish a course, LinkedIn asks you, do you want to share it out? And you can share it out. So I just completed A++ certification doing that, and it gets it out as somebody that is taking time to get to know their craft and get to learn it. So, all right, I could probably go on for an hour, but
For local businesses, is that you recommend LinkedIn for local businesses as well?
absolutely, and that's what can I get 2 more minutes? Okay.
Please.
Oh yeah, if they're asking
Okay.
questions, yeah, sure.
All right. So for instance, so as a business for your, with what you're cleaning, you could talk about, so an audience for you would be busy professionals that, they have 3 kids going between daycare, they're working 50 hours a week. I don't have time to clean their house. And you could go in and just craft some sort of nifty article if you wanted to about, I don't know.
Giving people time back type of situation.
Yeah, you could do a time management piece.
Yeah.
and you know, kind of the nice thing that having a clean house, so when you come home at the end of a busy day and you're not looking at dirty dishes in the sink and stuff, I mean, you could do something like that. But even for group, yeah, I'm giving you a. So Victor doesn't know, but when I talk to local candidates here, and I talk to them, especially director level, I'm putting in a plug for you.
Hey. That's
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
But no, but with local business, so where we have an advantage though for you, Victor, is groups. So getting into groups, you know, again, like what I recommended for Danella was get into like IT leader groups and just seeing what they're talking about, and then just kind of but the thing you got to be careful is you don't want to go in and sell, oh, hey, I'm Victor, I have the best cleaning service, and you know, I know you're busy, you don't want that spammy shit. You just want to get in and just see what the chatter is, and just, you know, letting people know, and you know, see what conversation you can engage in. Let's say somebody posts something that interests you, whether you know about the topic or not, just saying, hey, you know, that topic seems interesting, Gus. I was wondering, can you explain it a little bit more? By the way, I'm Victor. I own a cleaning. You know, my niche of clients that I service is, you know, director levels who, you know, whatever, and you can get. This tool allows you to do so much organic branding. It's not even funny. But the problem is people, and I was listening to all the businesses, and I was thinking in my head, boy, there's a story. I could write a blog for each and every one of you.
There's another one. Yeah.
Oh, did you have a question?
In the room, right? Half of the people in the room, you would think.
Oh yeah. I was. So it is not just for B2B professionals. There's plenty of B2Cs.
Good job.
So all right, I'm done unless there's questions.
She had a question?
For instance, I just finished a project I was hired to do the video for a new way to invest in movies.
Okay.
It's educational, but it's also self-serving because that's what I do. Mm-hmm. Would you post that?
If it's
or would you
interesting,
just put it in your profile?
no. People here's what's missing is interesting content. Every content is really just, there's a salesy thing to it.
I'm 134 years old and I just learned something about film.
Yeah.
I've been in the business forever and I just learned something today. Or
Yeah, people think that stuff's for Facebook, but people on LinkedIn, they love reading that stuff. And I mean,
this might be a segue off of Nancy's question, but
Yeah.
how polished do we need to be on LinkedIn? I think we all have an idea that we have to be our best professional selves, while on Twitter or Facebook we just be ourselves.
yeah.
So what level of professionalism do we need to bring to our posts, and what type of content do we need to produce? Can we just post hey, I just learned something new on Thursday night? Or does it have to be the things I knew?
No. It can be, and you know who's adapted is Chris Jenkins. When he first got onto LinkedIn, he was swearing up and down. I had to kind of separate myself away from him a bit because you can't. So here's the thing. It's meant to be raw and to include that, but again, with a certain level of professionalism. Like you wouldn't go on dropping F-bombs and stuff.
But I would. Depends on who you want to work with. Nancy's going to be dropping F-bombs and worse.
But to answer your question, you know, the more raw, the more real that you are, the better. Because people are getting to know you as the human being, as opposed to this big corporate, fluffy, air-blowing.
So Ryan.
Yeah, but
he's on it all the time. Ryan Reynolds, the actor, he's hilarious, and he's on LinkedIn. I mean, I think it says something that he's on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah.
Posting his videos, posting with other people. He's hilarious.
Authenticity is super important.
And he's really good
in
with that.
communicating by
That's his
video.
brand, though, right?
Marcus, with your in-depth knowledge of AI and stuff, you would have probably the most intriguing blog. All right, I'm gonna stop because I'm giving out chores to everybody. But anyways, thank you for listening to me.
And that was actually very
Oh.